flavored. It's a dreamsicle. It's dreamsicle Coke.
That's basically it. Yeah.
And I'm sure those Coke. What are they? Freestyle machines. Freestyle machines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I believe I've had that combination.
I'm sure that you have.
Yeah. So
they probably use that as a test.
No, it's on demand.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
What?
I'm not getting a.
I already hit the button to go live, so we're already live.
Sit back, drink some 0-calorie Coca-Cola.
That's right. That's right.
There we go.
What do you got? What do you got for us? What do you got, Phil? What do you got there? What do you got?
There we go. I'm back.
What'd you get?
Huh?
What'd you get?
Well, I had to get. I saw Logan had. Is it this on the wall behind you?
Whoa! Yeah. Is that a Tron disc?
It is a light disc. I have my own little Tron area.
I saw.
I love
it.
Yes,
I've got the Legos. I've got the pops. I've got.
Are my batteries dead? I guess I need to replace my batteries.
Yeah. Is that split in two?
Sadly, no.
That's not a Resner.
Although I also have. I got the orange.
What?
I got the blue.
So you can stack them and then rip them apart. That's
also I got
nice.
I got I got the triumvirate.
See, as we were talking about earlier there, Kevin, Phil has quickly replaced his stuff with other stuff.
Well, you got to do something with that money. You're not sending that kid to college, right?
Well, to be fair, I bought these. These were purchased back when Tron Legacy came out. These are not new.
This is the one knickknack that's still on my desk.
There it is.
That's a good one.
Link from Tokyo.
That's a good one. Yeah, all right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit record now.
Oh, should I do the same?
Go ahead and do that.
There.
Okay, you did it. You did it. And then we're going to do a clap. We're going to do a 3, 2, 1 clap. All right, to sync up.
3, 2, 1 clap.
Well, not like that.
Oh,
more like 3, 2, 1. We did it.
There we go.
Everybody did it.
Yeah,
like it.
All right, really good about this.
Yeah,
I say I'm feeling really good about this.
I'm feeling really good about this too.
Okay,
feeling very good.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to episode 640 of the Player One Podcast for Tuesday, February 12th, 2019. I am your host, Chris Johnston. With me this week, from the snow-covered state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
You can say as always with me.
As kind as sometimes.
What do you mean sometimes? I'm clearly here more often than Seward.
Well, yeah.
Who is not here at all.
Yep.
Because he's a yellow belly.
Well, he's got a sore throat.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm in the middle of a damn snowpocalypse.
Yeah.
Okay? The Seattle area is awash in snow. BT dubs.
Snowflakes.
Where's that global warming I keep hearing about? I don't think that's really a thing. It's because I'm looking outside and I'm seeing lots of snow. How come we still got monkeys?
All right.
There you go.
Well, because Greg isn't here, we had to replace him with not one, but two people from the Keelhauled podcast, Mr. Logan Keller. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
And to even out
two of them
to even out the sea of thieveness, I had to ask the host of Back in My Play, Mr. Kevin Larrabee, to the show. Hello.
Hey guys, yeah, I'm the person that played 1 hour of CJ on the on-ramp with Sea of Thieves and then never booted the game ever again.
You never returned.
I feel pretty good about it.
My man.
But had PUBG as his number one game last year. So.
Exactly.
I got nothing to defend.
Story in that game?
Well, two guys, they fall out of a plane, and then you have to kill 98 other dudes. And you just end up talking to each other about like dumb random stuff, and then you hide in a tub. That's the game. But we got a new one of those to talk about, which maybe I will end up teaming up with you for.
We do. Should we hop right in then? Maybe we should do that. Yeah. So Respawn announced their battle royale game, Apex Legends. It's based in the Titanfall universe, but it is not a Titanfall game. So Electronic Arts and Respawn released that on Monday last week. Shadowdrop, basically surprise announcement. Hey, the game's here right now. You can play it. So 3-player squad-based battle royale in the Titanfall universe, and at least 3 of us have played it. Not Phil.
I haven't played it. That game's got loot boxes.
Is that the reason you're not playing it?
Hard pass.
It does have loot boxes. It has a battle pass similar to your Fortnites, and
I just didn't play it because it's another. Is it a battle royale game? It's a battle royale game.
It is. It's battle royale, but it's 60 players and 20 teams. 3.
I can't. I tried a bit of the Fortnite.
Sure.
Who
hasn't?
I may have flossed once or twice, but it's not my bag.
When you said you flossed once or twice, you meant
my dentist is not happy with me.
Yeah, not in the game though. You didn't unlock that emote. No,
I did. You probably have to pay for it in some sort of crazy virtual currency.
V-Bucks. They're called V-Bucks.
V-Bucks. Okay.
Yeah.
Why are they called V-Bucks? What's the V stand for? Shouldn't they be called F-Bucks?
Virtual bucks?
Because it's Fortnite?
F-Bucks?
Yeah, F-Bucks.
I'm sure they considered
abbreviate it.
I'm sure they considered that.
You could abbreviate it to F-Bucks.
I'm sure they considered that.
Yeah.
Decided against it.
Spitballing out here. No bad ideas.
But so Apex Legends, they had some streamers in the week before to play and to interview some of the Respawn folks, and then they released it on Monday, and it's doing very well so far. In the first 72 hours, they had 10 million players. So for a free-to-play battle royale game, that's pretty good. And it's available on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, but no crossplay in this one.
Oh, not at all.
No crossplay.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yet. They apparently say they're working on it, but the game won't have cross progression. So it may at one point have cross play, but not cross progression.
So, whatever progress you make in the PlayStation version will not carry over to your Xbox version.
That's right.
That's what that means? Okay.
That is what that means.
And that's a bummer.
That is kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
More and more games now are doing that.
All right.
And I feel like if they're going to maintain their audience, might want to do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd also like to see it come out on the Switch, as I like to see everything come out on the Switch. But
I don't think there's any way that will run on the Switch.
Sounds like there's probably no way, and the game is quite graphically intensive. So yeah. But huge success for them, and I'm sure we will be speaking about Apex Legends a little later in what you've been playing.
CJ, this is also another chance for Sony to, disregard players on other platforms and not. Well, I think this is a good opportunity, to be honest, to bring up that crossplay debate again, because Sony continues to drag their heels on this stuff to the point where I don't think it was in news. I can't remember if this was last week or the week before, but there are multiple other developers that are now straight up calling out Sony for their lack of crossplay, even though, again, the platform is capable of doing it. The devs have the software to do it, but they're still not making it happen. They're still being they're being PS2 Sony, PS3 Sony, which isn't as good.
I think if the game was available on Switch, then you'd have the 2 other consoles being able to kind of say hey, why aren't you supporting it? We could support it, and then you could have Switch and Xbox kind of, making fun of Sony again for not having that crossplay availability for Minecraft and Fortnite.
Yeah, Rocket League, which just recently got it. Yeah, I forget which developers. I think it's the War Tanks people and Paladins that were recently calling out Sony and asking for them to open it up to their games. So yeah, would love to see it because crossplay is awesome.
Yeah,
for sure. Speaking of Sony, they have expanded the cloud storage available with PlayStation Plus to 100 gigabytes. I believe before it was like 10.
Wow.
So you can have your cloud saves in there. Although I'm never sure what is using cloud saving and what isn't on the PlayStation. Like with Xbox, whenever I load up a game, it says, syncing progress. And I know that it's pulling it off the cloud or putting it up on the cloud. But on PlayStation, I'm not sure what I have on the cloud and what is not on the cloud. Maybe I should check that.
Aren't they? So they're expanding this, but they're getting rid of the PS3 and PS Vita play?
That's right. Well, they're getting rid. So if you're a PS Plus subscriber, they're no longer going to give free games out for PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita. They're only going to be PS4 from now on. So,
okay.
Yeah,
I got an email warning me that I needed to download anything that I had PS3. They're like, hey, do this. And I'm like, I didn't even get a chance to dive into this yet. You're already taking it away from me.
Well, if you hadn't downloaded those games in prior months, I don't even think you can get those anymore, right? You have to download it in the month it's on offer. I'm pretty sure.
As long as you buy it, you can just buy it online. You don't have to necessarily download it.
Right. You can purchase it, quote unquote, and then download it any time later. Which I do with the PS4 and the Xbox games with gold games all the time, and then I never get around to them. Usually. But speaking of a game I will get around to, is being added to the NES library on Nintendo Switch Online for February.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Super Mario Brothers 2, the best NES Super Mario Brothers game.
That's just a bad, dumb thing to say.
Let's
go.
SMB2 is a fantastic video.
CJ.
It's fantastic.
CJ.
Yeah.
You know that
sounds like a YouTube video title.
I adore Super Mario Brothers 2 as much as you.
It's
as
so
much
good.
as you.
So good, yeah.
But
yeah.
Come on. I mean, there's Mario 3. Come on.
I mean, Mario 3 is good and all.
Come on.
Oh, look at Kevin showing us Mario 3.
There it is.
Is that on your Switch right now?
Yeah, that is on my Switch, and this news also brings up another opportunity to really question why Nintendo just decided to not use the Y button whatsoever on the Nintendo Switch for NES backwards compatibility, because they had a game called New Super Mario Brothers U that recently came out.
Yes,
and every player in that game is going to use Y to run and then B to jump, but for some reason on their NES emulator they have yet to figure out how to enable the Y button or to create any sort of button customization. And
but Kevin, don't you have?
They just keep asking why would we use that?
Did you not buy the wireless NES controller for the Switch that would solve your entire issue?
Oh, it would solve the issue if I had my Switch hooked up to a TV, but I like to kind of play this off my TV for the most part. And again, it's one of those things that I just don't know how anyone could ever defend Nintendo, because it shows such a lack of it's such an Apple thing of we know how to do it, you're an idiot. So if you question the way that we do something, then it's just you not knowing how to be a designer.
I think you have mentioned this on every guest spot
right here. The Y button on the Switch does nothing in their NES emulator.
But here's what you do. Here's what you do. So to run, you hold down the B button.
It's not a good way to rock.
Button.
No.
And then you jump with the A button. That's how you do it.
You want me to hold my You want me to hold my thumb? You want me to play like this? What are you talking about? I can't believe I agree to come on if this is the kind of debate we're going to have here. This is sort of like Tucker Carlson type stuff. I cannot have a debate like this. It's just not logical.
That's all you do, and it's fine. It's fine. Or you get the wireless NES controller and you play it.
Or just what is it? A line of code? I'm not a programmer. It's a line of code to enable the button.
It's not a line of code. Come on. Like to set up a button configuration menu, it's more than a line of code.
Oh yeah, good thing Nintendo that's capable of doing that. They just don't know what's up. Anyways, that's okay. I'll table that.
I mean, it could be worse, right? It could be PlayStation Classic emulation, right?
Again, it's not a good comparison. It could be worse, but this is the second-straight console. It happened on the 3DS as well. People
I never had a problem
know what I'm talking about.
I never had a problem with it.
Yeah.
I am a coder, and it is just one line of code. It is 10 if Y equal press, then go to run. And that's it. That's all you need to do. That's
invoke run.
That's all you need to do.
This is the new campaign after getting the Smash Brothers like internet connectivity thing fixed, which I guess was a huge mess this week for their tournament. Now we got to make sure that they can get the Y button enabled. Step 1, Y button. Step 2, Smash Brothers Online parties.
Wow.
I had a cherry Coke Zero, so I'm fired up tonight.
We'll never get the fix if the first one is the Y button. I think we should start with the Smash Brothers Ultimate fix. And then
see, you know what?
I think more people probably care about the Smash Brothers Ultimate than the Y button. Probably. Kevin, this is your own personal crusade, and I want to see you tweet about it once a day, every day.
This is my microtransaction and blind loot boxes. This is the hill that I will die on. No more NES games for me until they fix it. But no, like for real, I think if I am crazy, people can tell me I'm crazy. But there's people in the YouTube chat. Crazy. You can voice your opinion, and also at P1 Podcast on Twitter. Let's see if we can get a discussion about this. If you guys think this is not a problem and that you don't like platformers on the NES, you don't like to run and jump, that's fine.
I like to run and jump.
Do you like to shoot and jump at the same time in a game like Mega Man? Sure, yeah. Sure. You need to be able to rock your thumb, and that's where I'm gonna stop talking.
Okay.
Are we doing like left to right, or are you trying to do top to bottom?
No, see, I want if I'm playing, I want to hold down Y. I want to hold my thumb like this. I don't want to hold my thumb not like on the plane.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Here,
if I'm on a plane, my elbow's in someone's face.
There's a controller, and you've got your thumb. And you hold down the thumb, and there's a button, and then there's a button. And
but you can't
do that all the time.
Logan, if you play Super Mario Brothers, you need to run with the Y and jump with the B. It's how they literally set it up in their brand new re-release, recycled game, New Super Mario Brothers U, that came out on.
What if you never played it before? It's new to you.
This is
Jesus.
They didn't have a Y button.
I love the Nintendo Switch so much. I love but again, it's not that. It is literally how they control and program their games for the Super Nintendo, for their 3DS releases of New Super Mario Brothers, and on the DS. That's how they did the run of the jump. It's Y to run, it's B to jump on both those games. Those are portable consoles. The only thing they ever do this on is on the NES emulator for the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo 3DS. On the Wii, you could actually customize the button layout, which you can't do, or you could switch it, I should say.
Yeah.
And even in Super Mario All-Stars for the Super Nintendo, you could select the button layout. I'm just going to stop there. All right.
I feel like this is a European decision.
They should put in those chapter marks. Just put in that chapter mark so people can skip over that.
I feel like we're not going to solve this tonight, so let's move on. Kirby's Adventure, by the way, we didn't even get to the other NES game that's coming out in February for
what's the other one?
Kirby's Adventure.
Awesome. That's a good game. Favorites. That's a good game.
It's a good game.
You know what though? The problem with playing Kirby's Adventure is I'm going to be wanting to hit that Y button.
Oh god.
And
oh no.
So
I'm hitting the Y button. Why are we still talking about this?
Run right through this. Run right through this.
Am I the only one that really loves Super Mario Brothers 2? Like I remember growing up and watching the cartoon. The cartoon and the game like paired so well together, and I love characters from the cartoon and the game that I was playing. And
Legend of Zelda Fridays.
I am right there with you. I love Super Mario Brothers 2.
I said earlier. That was not sarcasm when I said I adore Super Mario Brothers 2. It is
you hit that pause button. You hit that pause button. You get.
Yeah. I used to have that.
And it just like cuts out that channel. Oh, it's great.
Mario needs more ragtime music.
It does. I mean, I have said this multiple times. I want to see them revisit the world of Super Mario Brothers 2. Bring back Wart as a final boss. Like I think it would be fantastic.
That world, CJ, is called what?
Subcon.
There's my boy. There he is.
I want to see it happen. Come on.
Yep.
to it, or at least put it in Super Mario Maker. Let other people make Super Mario Brothers 2. 'Cause that'd be awesome.
Oh, man, I love Mario too.
But anyway,
Are we ever going to get Mario Maker for the Switch? For the love of God,
I
just have
hope
that game.
I hope they make it.
Well, they're so busy porting all those other Wii U games. They have to go one every 6 months.
They'd have to spare one programmer that could have been doing the one line of code.
Control C, Control V.
Do it.
It's a long, it's a long process, man.
That's how games are ported to other platforms. Control C, Control V. Yeah,
really tough stuff. And then also, oh god, never mind. Won't even get into like the problems in New Super Mario Brothers U, like the button layout for that.
The game is awesome. Mario U is one of the best Mario platformers ever made, and that is truth. That is just solid, indisputable truth.
Great game, terrible music, and it really and still too simplistic design. It wasn't.
No, it's so good. Did you play Mario? Did you play New Luigi U?
Yes, I played through both those games.
Games are awesome.
I got it for the Switch. So.
Anyway, EA has confirmed they're making a new Plants vs. Zombies title. They have not said what that means. The Plants vs. Zombies Twitter account said, "Did you hear the Plants vs. Zombies team is excited to confirm that we are working on a new Plants vs. Zombies title for consoles and PC. We'll share more details on the title in the future, so stay tuned." So really no information other than there's a new Plants vs. Zombies coming in our future. And that may be Garden Warfare 3.
Could this be the next battle royale that topples Apex Legends?
It could very well be. It could be a battle royale.
It's just zombies slowly moving in on one plant, and whoever gets to that one sunshine plant wins.
Yes,
I'd
play that.
I'm there.
I'd play that. I really like Garden Warfare. I thought Garden Warfare was a good series, or has been a good series. Anyway, I see all of you. I see all of you nodding in agreement. Yes,
I have never played it.
Okay. Well, I think that means we are up to what you've been playing, and I'm gonna have Kevin go first.
Speaking of real shooters, not this Plants versus Garden Warfare baby stuff.
It's a good game. It's a good game. You should try it.
I need assault rifles. I need I need to be able to parachute out of a plane with jets. But okay. I guess we'll get to that. We'll get to that since it's going to be more of a group discussion. Let me get through two things super fast. One is Yakuza Kiwami 2 is on sale at Best Buy. I was waiting for the sale.
Yeah.
And still got my Gamers Club unlocked, so I was able to pick that up last week. And I've been playing these Yakuza games way out of order. So I played... 0 was really my first. I played 0. I played Kiwami 1. I played 3. I played 4. Now I'm going back to 2. And my goal is to play through 2. I already purchased 5, and I've already purchased 6. So I need to go. It's really weird to go through that order, but it's just been kind of the way that these games have been released. Because of course I was going to go back to 2 on the PS2 after playing through Kiwami on the PS4. But it has made me come to realize that the PS4 has really become my Yakuza machine. That's really the only thing I've booted it up for in the last couple months, outside of Tetris Effect, which I should probably play much more of. But Yakuza Kiwami 2, if you played the remake of 1, it is that same great, incredible tier of remake quality. They do an amazing job redoing all of the cinematics. It is some of the best voice acting and best localization in video games. And it's just a blast, especially if you have been to Tokyo before, if you've been to Kabukicho in Shinjuku, like the red light district. They remake it incredibly accurately. And the battle system for Kiwami 2 is just insane, just in terms of being over the top. It is just a lot of fun to play. It's a really great beat 'em up that is hidden inside of a very story-driven game that is serious at times, but then can go completely off the rails other times. I think it really taps into my Fast and Furious, sensibilities. It's just really funny. There's characters that you end up, always finding really endearing, and these characters just carry over from like I played 3 and 4, and you just get such a great in-depth look into these characters over the years. And I really wish I had the opportunity to start pure at 1, go to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, just because right now I'm like, oh man, this is weird because this guy got killed in the game I just played, and now I'm going back and they're alive. It's not too much to keep in your head or anything like that, but it is almost like it's like watching season 3 of a show and then going back and watching season 2. So you kind of know where the story is going for that character, but it is still fun to interact with them, and because all the characters they're always fantastic. They're awesome to hang out with. So that's Yakuza. I recommend if you've ever flirted with the idea of playing those games, now's the time to do it with 0, Kiwami 1 and 2, all on PlayStation 4. They all run fantastic, and it's some of the best storytelling in video games. If you have any interest, and they're all cheap now, they're all like $20. So
That's true. Yeah.
This is the time to jump in if you want to. We already talked about New Super Mario Brothers U, so I won't hit on it that much. But I think I played that when the Wii U came out, however many years ago, and then I went back to it now, thinking maybe time would have done it some good. But I found it still. I apologize, like kind of mediocre.
I can't believe you don't like it. I can't believe you don't like this game.
I like it, but I literally played it without the sound on.
Oh yeah,
I was.
Bop, bop.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, it's not. And I hate to say this. I don't want it to sound like it will sound, but I think it's really lazy how they reused some of the.
I agree.
The music from previous games. It is still a really good looking game. I
think now if they make another side-scrolling Mario game, they really have to go back to the drawing board on the visuals and the music for sure, because they have spent way too long with that same theme for everything. It's worn out its welcome.
Which theme is that, CJ?
The one that goes bop bop.
Bah, bah. Yeah, it's just and I think there you have to understand where a lot of the audience was coming from. Like you said, CJ, many people did not play this game because the Wii U sold whatever it was, like 10 million consoles. Is a little bit more than that, but
13.
13, thank you. But I still think it's still again, it's like that thing with the button. It's like Nintendo just saying, we know what we're doing, so this is worth $60. Where I don't think that.
I mean, that's the way Nintendo's been forever.
For sure, and I'm not debating that part. I'm just saying it still kind of sucks. I was thankful to be, I played through this in a weekend and then sold it for $45. So I got like almost all my money back, which was great. But I think it is something where I hope it doesn't continue to be the trend. The only thing I would probably do that for is if we get, and this is my belief, is that we'll get either a Wind Waker or Twilight Princess HD on this console this year. And in that case, because I'm a huge sucker, I will probably pay $60 for that. But
I would too. Yeah.
You
can't believe it.
but last thing on the Best Buy deals, Rayman Legends for the Nintendo Switch was $20 on Best Buy, and again with Gamers Club it was like $15. So it was kind of a no-brainer. I missed it after playing through Rayman Origins on the Vita many years ago, and I thought, I got nothing to lose, and I was coming off of New Super Mario Brothers U, and I was rather disappointed. And Rayman Legends is a better game than New Super Mario Brothers U.
What?
Rayman Legend is really good.
It is.
Okay, I haven't played it.
The
but
platforming,
it's a really good game. You should give it a try.
You should give it a game, especially again. This is one of those things where, I will wear my physical game hat, because the fact that game is $20 like at retail at Best Buy and stuff, and it's still $60 in the eShop, is one of the things that's still super broken about digital and physical games. That's been.
I mean, how do you solve that problem though with digital and physical? Because
the game's $20 at a store, and that's the normal price, like at Amazon, at Best Buy, at.
Is that the MSRP or is it a discounted price?
That's what pretty much everyone is selling it for $20.
You're right. You're right. Everybody's selling it for that price, but it's hard to keep track of what store is selling what for what price, and do you change?
I mean, there's like basically 3 stores that you're going to go to, Best Buy, Target, Walmart, and Amazon.
What if
GameStop?
Nintendo gave you the option? GameStop is still live?
Yeah,
GameStop's still alive, yeah.
Well, with GameStop, again, I don't necessarily consider that. I don't think they're a very good video game retailer, so I won't even look at their, they're stocked because you never know if you're going to get an open game that's new, all that crap. So what I'm saying is like there's still a pretty big problem across the board with, Switch games, digital and physical, like being severely mismatched in terms of digital pricing. So anyways, that game is awesome. If you haven't played it, you owe it yourself. If you like platformers whatsoever, not only is I think the soundtrack's very good, it is some of the most fun, challenging platforming ever. It surpasses Rayman Origins, and I'm kind of really surprised at myself that I never picked it up when it came out. But I think I probably looked at it like a New Super Mario Brothers 2 after New Super Mario Brothers or New Super Mario Brothers Wii, where I'm like, I don't need more of this right now. But after playing it probably 5 years later, it is outstanding. And aside from Celeste, those are probably the two games that I've had the most fun with over the last probably 3 or 6 months.
Okay.
Have you guys had the discussion about if games ever went like the route that DVDs and Blu-rays are going, where they give you a physical and then they give you a digital code, like so you have the option?
I think that's a tougher one because what a lot of people would do, like CJ, they would go buy the thing and then they would redeem the digital and then sell the physical because.
What are you calling me out for that?
Well, I'm actually saying, well, if you look at this, this is actually a really good point to bring up, because what I do a lot of times is, when movies come out now, they come out on iTunes like 2 weeks early as a digital download.
Not only iTunes, but PlayStation and Xbox. They come out digital.
Yeah, the movies, whenever. Yeah, so on Amazon. So the thing that I will usually do is if there's a movie that I really want to see, I didn't see it in theaters, I'll pay the $20 to get the 4K version on iTunes. I'll do that. And then when it comes out on 4K Blu-ray or whatever, a lot of people will actually buy those and they'll split them up and then they'll sell them on eBay. So you can actually just get literally just the 4K disc, because those packages come with the 4K version, the Blu-ray version, and a digital code. So they split all that stuff up and you can actually end up kind of breaking even on that stuff. But I think the same problem would be what happened for games. But the problem is games hold their value so much more than a movie that came out last month. The Blu-ray could be $10 now versus $25, whereas a game that comes out, a month or two later might still be full price.
Also, what you're describing is sort of similar to what Microsoft was initially talking about with the Xbox One, right? Where you buy a physical disc, but really you're just buying a license for the software, and you can sell that back or like give it to a friend, and they'd also have to buy the license off of the disc. And it didn't work. And I think Microsoft in part described it badly at the time. And people got super up in arms, which is understandable under the circumstances, for sure.
I think Logan means something different.
No, well, I mean, I think that having two copies of the game would definitely kind of saturate the market, and people probably wouldn't buy the like a new copy if they could get a new version from a split pairing of that. But I'm thinking about what they're doing right now with the Switch as far as like selling Final Fantasy X and X2. One of them is a physical, one of them is a download code.
Oh, right.
And it's like that kills the resale value as well. So I mean, if you're talking about holding on to the value of the game, the way that Switch is selling their new titles is already diminishing the quality of the game, because you're never going to have the full set for Mega Man Legacy or
that's a good
Final
point.
Fantasy. So I mean, if I had the opportunity to buy a game full price, even if it was like a Wii U port and it gave me the opportunity to have a physical and a digital download code, then I'd probably have the physical, hold on to that for the collectors, and then just put the digital on my Switch.
Yeah, I do wonder how that collection is going to be handled on the eShop, whether they are going to sell them separately or not.
They did for Bayo.
Yeah, they did.
They did a thing where you could buy like basically Bayonetta 2 for like $40 and Bayonetta, or maybe I believe that was actually $50 for Bayonetta 2, and it was $10 for Bayonetta 1 if you bought Bayonetta 2.
That's right. That's right. They could do that same thing again with Final Fantasy. I guess we'll just have
Would you want X2 or would you just want X?
I've never played. Well, I played a little bit of X, and that's it. I never played X2.
Are you going to buy this game?
No.
And then never play it? Okay.
I'm never going to buy it.
Save it for Persona 5 in March.
You think Persona 5 is coming out on Switch?
It is coming out on Switch.
Did they announce it, or is this a Larrabee lock?
This was a lock from last year. Yeah.
Okay, so it's still a Larrabee lock, but not announced.
It was in development last year. It was
Okay.
it was running on a Switch last year.
Okay.
Just
All
wait.
right. You got anything else there, Kevin?
I think we can all talk about maybe Apex together.
let's do
But okay, so obviously you talked about it in news, but I think I still play PUBG either on Xbox or on PC weekly because again it's my connection with my buddy Adam who lives in Florida. So it's mostly us hanging out. It's like I believe Sea of Thieves is for you. You're hanging out with friends and stuff. So I wasn't necessarily looking for a new battle royale game, but obviously what's intriguing about this is that it's coming from Respawn. And Titanfall 2 is probably it is probably in my top 3 games of this generation. I think Titanfall 2 is the best first-person shooter that came out on this generation of consoles, and I think it's something that everyone should go play because it's about $7 and it's outstanding.
Certainly, if you're talking about single player story campaign, it's the
and
best.
multiplayer. I played probably 50 hours of that multiplayer across Xbox, PlayStation 4, and PC. I played it on all 3 consoles.
taking out the multiplayer, it is one of the best, if not the best, first person shooter story campaigns I've ever played. It's so good.
1,000,000%.
The game is so cheap. If you've not played Titanfall 2, you have to go out and do it because it is so impressive what they did with the story mode.
Yeah, I think for me it's that and Doom are like right next to each other as the best FPSs of the generation. So with that being said, I play this, and again I got my buddy Adam, pulled him out of PUBG, and I said, go download this. We're gonna try it out. And then we just had a random third in our group, which actually was really good because that random third was already leveled up and had a lot of experience with the game. So our first couple of rounds, we actually had a tour guide with us, which was super helpful.
Great.
It was great. And I will say one thing that is also appealing about this is the way that they have enabled players to communicate with each other without talking, and they have gone super in depth and made it very contextualized based on what you're pointing at. So it has been really intuitive for new players, and again, just so like it really encourages other players to help each other out and because obviously if all 3 of you aren't really they don't have good loadouts, if you don't have armor, if you don't have a good gun, you're not going to be victorious, right?
The interesting thing about the design in this game is that it's squads only. So there's no solo mode, there's no duo mode. It's 3 players in a squad, and there's no option to not play with other people. I mean, I guess you could lone wolf it, I guess, but
I think what would happen is if they did that, it would just be Blackout, from Call of Duty 4. I think it would be too similar to that. But what I
think they did that's interesting is they forced people to do it, and they added that ping system, which is what you're talking about, being able to identify things in the environment without having to talk, which I think is important because, I mean, we've talked about this on this show where talking to other people in online multiplayer games is normally not something that any one of us want to do, especially randoms.
And it's not just people being like buttheads. It's like a baby crying in the background all the time, or just they have a fan on,
and
you
smoke detector going off, low battery tone,
whatever. So, and again, what I will say is, and this is a conversation I was having with this guy that we were playing with is, what's awesome? This feels just like Titanfall 2. And like the guns feel great. It feels awesome when you nail someone's shield. Like when you get those first couple shots, that sound it makes, it just has like a really awesome, I hate to use the word visceral, but visceral sound that makes you know you're making contact and you're doing damage. And I really love like the first stage that they put together is incredibly varied. Like I've never felt like I've been in the same area twice, and we've done like 10 rounds. And I will say I tried Fortnite, could not get into it at all. I didn't care about the base building stuff. But for this, all it is go find it's basically the best hybrid of Fortnite and PUBG, where it is you drop in, you find a bunch of good stuff, you keep making sure that you're in the circle, you make sure you're in a good position for that final confrontation at the end. And all this succeeds because above PUBG it actually feels good.
Yeah.
PUBG, you can run into situations where on the Xbox and on the PC, you can just feel like, oh God, it wasn't my fault. Like it just sometimes in close quarters combat, it just doesn't control well.
The game feels clunky.
It feels clunky, where like this and Blackout, I think, is, in the same category. It feels awesome. It feels great.
I agree. I mean,
it should
you
do.
look at the original Titanfall and you look at Titanfall 2, and Respawn obviously knows shooters because those guys made the Call of Duty series what it was. And you take like the level of polish that they have put on this thing, and it's kind of insane the amount of polish that's on it. It looks great. The presentation's great. The music's great.
The music and presentation adds so much to it, CJ. The feeling of just like a flying on the plane, like having, just like selecting your characters. Like, again, I don't play. I played maybe an hour of Overwatch and I just couldn't get into it. Yeah. But this has 8 characters. You get to, you get the music.
It's not only that though. Like, it's a couple things that they did. It's the presentation that's great. It's the pinging items and not having to actually talk to your random teammates if you don't want to. And it's also the banter in between characters. Like when the circle closes and your character or another character says, so that you can hear it, we're inside the circle, or we're far away, or we're really close, or whatever. Like those things, now you don't have to communicate that. You don't have to look at a menu. You automatically know it because the character said it. Like those sorts of things I find incredibly helpful. And you look at the battle royale genre, and it's heating up. It's getting competitive, and I think people are improving on a game type that people have already proven that they love. And this was great. Like the shadow dropping of this new game, they mentioned to Eurogamer that they didn't want the story about this game pre-release to be about loot boxes and microtransactions, so they delayed announcing it until they were ready to just put the game out there. Totally smart move. Like, let the game speak for itself, and it's super polished and super fun. And even though I'll probably never actually win a match, I'm enjoying the hell out of it. Logan, you've not had a chance to talk yet. I want to hear about your experience with Apex.
So I think this is probably one of the best game releases I've played recently that speaks to the shooter genre. This game, it came out of nowhere. I found out from Ammunition, who's streaming it recently, that all the top streamers last summer got to go test it out, talk about it, give their feedback, and they were NDA'd up until the Super Bowl thing. And this game screams esports all over it.
You think esports?
It does, because if you think about the loading screens, have the little banners that drop down. It has the animation. Everything is animated. The UI is large. It's readable. There's interactions with the characters that tell you what's going on. All the PUBG matches that I've seen that are tournaments, everything is all shoutcasted, and there's no dialogue from the actual characters. But when you're in the nitty gritty and you're running around, it's just silent. You just hear a couple gunshots in the back, maybe someone's on a vehicle, and there's not really a lot of dialogue. But this game has life to it. It has things in the background that you can look at. There's little secret things that you can find that you punch them and a bunch of loot pops out, so there's good loadouts. There's the ultimates, and the guns feel great, and they're varied, so it really depends on what you go for it. I've never been so attracted to a battle royale until this game came in, because it gave me that character to latch onto with like the feel of Overwatch, but it gave me the polish and the feel. And I was playing Anthem, the quote unquote demo that they released on day one, and the demo was flat out just horrible. I really didn't like it. I didn't feel like it really I didn't feel like it really sold the game well. This is free. It's going to be on every system that anyone has a system for. They're going to really be able to, get the Fortnite people. And this is basically big boy Fortnite. It takes away It is big boy Fortnite.
I think,
It gets rid of all the building. It lets you just do what you want to focus on, which is what people love in PUBG and what people love in Blops, and it gives you that visceral feel. And I agree, that is a great term. I have a buddy who's very particular about shooters. Like I played the Division, and he's played it, and he says he doesn't like it because the gun doesn't feel like it's very impactful when you kill someone. And that's something that this game does really well. You can feel like when you're hitting armor, you can feel when you're hitting body, and you can get those long range shots or the shotgun shots. And they've done a great job of the color system for the ammo and the guns to let you know like what ammo should be used for what weapons. The only thing they haven't gone into is like the grenades, and like I still don't even know what the little shuriken does, but I'm sure it's really good. I just never pick it up. And the color coding for the armors, it's very easy to understand what it is and what it does and what's better, what's worse. And they go into detail as far as not letting you pick up worse things. If you have a better item, it doesn't unequip what you have and pick up the lesser quality item. And that's a huge thing. You can run around and spam the key to pick up stuff, and you're not going to, lose something that was really good as you're going. And they force you to hold down the interact button if you want to pick up a different weapon as well too. So if you it's not just grab a weapon and then you just lost your fully kitted AR or your sniper rifle. You have to make that conscious decision to do that. They've given you extra drop points way out on the exterior of the map, so if you're out in the thing and the ring hits and you're nowhere close to it, you can always jump a balloon and fly back in. You can pick up your teammate's banner and respawn them with nothing. It's all the best things that we've learned from BR games to date in a free-to-play model that doesn't force you to buy loot boxes if you don't want to, because most of it's cosmetic outside of the characters. And I think this is going to be the thing that takes down Fortnite. And I don't think Fortnite has... I don't think unless Fortnite comes out with some of the features like no fall damage or anything like this that this game offers, I think a lot of streamers are going to hug onto this more.
But you know what Fortnite does have that this probably won't get?
Concerts.
I think why not?
That's right.
It's not very violent.
But I mean
it's not violent. You're right.
There's no blood or anything.
Yeah, if you look at like the kids growing up with Minecraft have transitioned into Fortnite, and Fortnite will then transition to more serious, realistic games. And I think Apex Legend is at the point where how long have we been playing Fortnite? Like what season are we on?
7.
So
7 or 8.
It's been out for years, and those
year and a
kids
half
are growing up.
Is it year and a half?
Been a year and a half?
Yeah.
God, it feels.
Came out at the end of July or August of 2017.
I'm thinking when they showed the original back in 2015.
That thing was kicking around forever.
Yeah. So, but I feel like this is it's going to be something that really latches on. 10 million people is nothing to snuff at.
I mean, I could see it definitely taking down PUBG. It's a much better game.
I don't think it's the same audience though, because I don't think it's going to get like the same sort of folks that are going to be looking for getting snipers with 8x scopes and like caring about bullet drop and all that stuff.
I disagree. The group
I also think it's going to be Fortnite, man. Like I think it's I think there's room.
I think this is
going to be these games to live.
It's going to be an interesting test to see just how much room there is for different games in this genre. And I think at least these games are offering fairly different experiences, right?
Which is awesome.
Yeah, which is certainly great to see. And if you like any one of these, you're getting new content, every few weeks, and patches, every few weeks, and it's going to be good. And Fortnite and this are free, so it's great.
I think the people that I play with, at least the small circle that I play with, they are the ones that came from PUBG and have been trying out Call of Duty because they want something that's more polished. And I think that a lot of people are looking at PUBG and wondering why haven't they hired more people to really kind of bring this game up, optimize it, give it more strength in certain areas and stuff. And I think that I love running around in Apex Legends with a sniper and having that variable scope and trying to get like a couple 8-time kills or 8-time scope kills off of that. This is a game where I think a lot of people can try it out for a little bit and not have to worry, is it going to kill my system?
Right.
I mean, I wasn't even. I think the other thing that's worth noting is I didn't even realize there was microtransactions in the game at all.
There are, yeah, there are.
Yeah.
There's microtransactions. There's 3 different types of currencies in this game, and there's a battle pass, and there's also separate things that you can buy, as well as like 2 of the characters are unlocks. I
mean this super seriously, but I wonder if Ethan would play this in with the idea of that it is free and that all of the additional stuff is just cosmetic stuff. So
I can already answer that. No, he will not.
The answer is no.
The answer is no. But the interesting thing about Apex Legends, so it got announced and shadow dropped. I feel like this has taken the wind out of Anthem completely. And, there's a new Far Cry game that comes out this month. I feel like good luck with that, Ubisoft. Even the Division 2 private beta that came up this past week, I feel like the air was let out of that because so many people were focused on Apex Legends, including
they're in the lead. Crackdown 3 comes out on Friday.
Well, yeah, Crackdown 3 also.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah. Well, I think Anthem is a different market, though. I mean, it's a shooter, but it's a co-op or like story-driven game.
BioWare narrative.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess.
Whereas and I don't know about you, but the Division beta went off really, really well. Whereas the Anthem beta or demo was just really like there was a lot of problems with it going into that weekend. And the fact that you had to never mind. I'm not gonna.
It was bad. It was bad.
I'm playing on PC and I feel like I need to use a controller to fly my Javelin. There's issues there.
Yeah.
But the Division beta was really good.
Yeah, Logan, what have you been playing? So let's move on to you.
Sea of Thieves and the Division beta. I won't go too much into Sea of Thieves, but we did get the small free to play friend codes that came out, and that was kind of interesting. We only had it from February 6th to the 13th, and you got 3 codes so you could bring in friends. They could play the game and try it out, and they offered you a mercenary mission for 5 doubloons, which are unlocked from commendations in the actual game. And it gave you voyages from each of the different trade companies that you could do a little bit of each one to kind of give people an idea of this is what the all-around experience is. And I got to do that with a couple friends that are very new to the game. One that was completely fresh. He just finished building his character. We got out, we did a mission, and I got to take him through one of those and through an Athena's and show him just about everything that was in the game, and he really enjoyed it. So that's something that's kind of nice coming out from Rare. But I feel like the content itself was actually pretty lackluster, and considering this is the first thing that we've had since the Gilded missions from the holidays and Shrouded Spoils in November. So I don't know. Have you gotten a chance to do the mercenary mission yet, CJ?
I have. Yes, I did it. It only took like an hour to do. Here's the new event in the game. Oh, it only took an hour to finish. But I thought the combat changes that they made are a lot more important. So
they
nerfed the double gun. People were running 2 guns, and you were able to shoot one gun and then switch and immediately shoot again, and basically one-shot people.
Yeah,
they changed that up, and they changed sword combat quite a bit. It's just little tweaks, but it's made it a lot more fun to use the cutlass. So
yeah, they've done some really good changes to try and give a little more unification for interacting with NPCs. The movement reduction for swinging your sword is down, so it feels a lot more fluid. You feel like you're actually actively moving around when you're trying to actually use a sword, as opposed to being chained with a to the ground as you're trying to like hit something and stop, so you can actually run forward and stuff. And they've changed the reload speeds as well too, so that it's kind of more in line with the actual audio. And that's one of the few games where the audio is really important, because that's your cues for everything.
So many things. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then other than that, I've been playing the Division 2 beta. I've been looking forward to this because I picked up the gold version of Division probably last month and been playing through that a little bit. And this kind of shoot and cover style of game is really nice. I love I spent a lot of time actually in the beta just kind of going from places in the world to places on Google Maps in Washington D.C. and actually trying to compare like what do different areas look like and stuff, and the parity is actually pretty good in a lot of places. So if for me, I'm hardly ever going to have the opportunity to go to Washington D.C., let alone New York. So to get to see these games and actually know that a majority of this all looks fairly similar outside of the obvious like dystopian setting where there's cars and trash everywhere and garbage and animals running about and stuff, but they took a lot of the things from the Division 1 and really made some improvements to the looting, to the UI, to the feel. I think the only thing that ever really got on my nerve was the constant requests for agent backup. Like there was, I don't know why, but they in the game, anytime you're playing, you can request aid. And anytime you request aid, it pings all of the agents either in the area or on the actual server itself. And having that happen, especially during like story moments when you're actually doing a major mission and stuff, but having that happen almost every 15 to 20 seconds was absolutely insane. And there was no way to actually turn it off. But they've gone through and done a lot of quality improvements for the Division, and you can run into a safe house and you build up the safe houses. Now they're actually little settlements, and you're trying to get things back up to normal. So you're donating items that you don't need, you're donating stuff that you crafting materials, food, water, things like that you would normally use as buffs in the original game. And you're using those to try and beef up security around these areas so that there's patrols that are going around taking out random groups, and there's control points to help gather supplies and get ammo. And they're giving you caches that you can actually keep your gear up to date as you're leveling as you go along. And the quality improvements are just one of those things that I think is going to make a really nice sequel for the Division. And I think they're gonna do really well in March when this comes out in the full game.
Cool. I have not played the Division, and I keep hearing that I need to try it. And I got a code for the private beta, but Apex came out.
Yeah,
so many other things to play. It's like, well, I guess not. So, yeah. But I've always been interested in it. Sure. Are you gonna pick up the full game, Logan?
Oh yeah. I've got a few friends on another Discord server, and we've been kind of debating on whether or not we were going to go with Rainbow Six, Anthem, or the Division. And I think the Division is probably going to win out on this.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, very fun.
All right. That's all you got?
That's yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's always the staple games that I'll jump into when I just need that Heroes of the Storm fix or something.
Yeah, I always see you on Heroes of the Storm. If you're not on Sea of Thieves, you're on Heroes of the Storm.
It's my go-to. Like, what do I want to do to kill some time, or just get that need to kill something and see numbers increase?
Yes. All right, Phil. You have not spoken because we've been talking about shooters and battle royale games.
Boring games.
It's consistent online multiplayer games.
I just won't be talking about Sea of Thieves for all I was concerned about any of that.
I hope your list is accurate, Phil, because I really hope you're going to talk about that game.
Which one?
Which one?
Outrun 2006.
Oh,
that's not from last week.
You mean this game right here?
Oh, dude.
Outrun
2006 Coast to Coast.
Oh, it's so good.
First of all, this game is amazing. I own the PS2 version of the game. I do not have the Xbox
360.
It's 360. I do not have the Xbox 360 version, which is a very expensive game these days.
It's a very good game too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an outstanding game. But I found out that over in England,
Oh yeah.
Europe. Yeah, there was a Resetter
I saw
thread
this
about it.
too.
Yeah, where the game was released on physical PC in Europe.
Okay.
It used to be on Steam years ago, and it is no longer there. It was taken down ages ago, of course, due to the Ferrari license. So
Yeah.
you can't get it on Steam anymore, unfortunately. But you can import the physical disc. Got this off eBay. I think I paid about $40 for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you know
40
what?
bucks. Okay.
You know what?
It's worth it.
Worth it.
I already have 3 versions of that game. If I didn't
Wow.
already have, I have the PSP version as well.
Oh, you know what?
Oh.
I have that as well. I do
Yeah.
have the PSP version as well.
One
So
of the 3 PSP games I still own
yeah, I know, right?
physically. Yeah.
I picked this up and got it running. Runs great on my PC. Oh man, it's such a good game. So damn good. I freaking
400
love.
frames per second.
I love Outrun 2 and /2006.
Yep.
Just
But
drift forever in that game.
I
You just-
know.
you're always drifting.
Get those little hearts. Get those little
man.
hearts going. They but some computer hacker out there actually created a patch to improve the game as well. So I believe they added in some more music tracks. They fiddled with resolution settings, so you could even you can now stretch it out. So if you have like a 3 monitor setup, you can have the image across all 3 screens if you're that nuts about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and even added some extra tracks that are not in the that were not in the console version but are in the arcade version of the
Really?
game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
So
cool.
yes, so I downloaded that as well. I've been tinkering with that. I haven't gotten that working quite right yet. For some reason, when I launch it with the patch, for some reason the driving controls during the race don't work.
Oh, that's
So
important.
it's
Yeah.
there's probably something that I'm doing wrong.
Still looks really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can go
sure.
like I can navigate the menus and everything
Okay.
just fine, but as soon as the race starts, I can hit the gas, I can brake, but the actual steering of the car not working quite as well. So
Okay.
again that's probably user error on my part, just from not clicking a box or something like that. So but yeah, I couldn't pass that up to own
That's pretty great.
another version of Outrun 2006, which
I
is
probably need to jump on that before the prices ever since like that those mods came out, the prices have gone up substantially for that
really?
version.
Oh,
Yeah, that's I mean it's the only region that it was released physically. So if you want to, and again like Phil was saying, due to the license you can't get any more. Even the Xbox, the PS2, I don't think it came out in the GameCube, but there was a PSP version as well. Even those copies have gone up substantially over the last just 5 years. So
yeah,
and it's just a shame because we haven't had an Outrun game in a long time.
Yeah, and it's so good,
and it's probably the best Outrun game ever. It's better than Outrun.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anyone's gonna question you on that. So
or Turbo Outrun for sure. Turbo Outrun's no good.
Or Outrunners.
Or
what was the Outrun like 2099 or 2029?
And
Remember
also
that
the
one?
PS2 version, that 3D remake on the PS2 that they did for all those classic Sega titles.
Yeah. And even this one, this release that I got is it's clearly part of some budget line. White label.
Yeah,
it is, and on the inside of the jewel case, they're advertising all the other wonderful games that they have in this line, including the original Fallout, which is one of the few games on here I've heard of. A series of games called Black Hawk Down.
Yeah, those were big on the PC.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Something called Singles. Some sort of
idea what that is.
Dating sim or something, maybe. I don't know. And of course,
the Leisure Shoot Larry from Sega.
Yeah, really. The meme-tastic, the mystery of the Druids, which is a game that you have probably seen the box art for if you've been on the internet, because it's a popular terrible box art candidate. But yeah, I totally picked that up this week and am so pleased to have it, because it's
so jealous of you, man. That's it's really tough, because I mean, I think we can all say in agreement how many times we've purchased Outrun. Especially with the Sega Ages collections that have come out over the years. And I mean, I have it on the Switch. Like, it's
same here.
I've owned 3 Outrun machines over the course of my life. Like, it's a game and a franchise that just does not get the love that it deserves, except for the Sega Ages. I really wish Sega could find a way, like with Sonic Mania, to revitalize that franchise. Like, and again, like, or literally just give Ferrari like $100 and relicense that and just add like 12 years or 13 years to that title. Like, I'd totally play Outrun 2019. It's just the exact same game on 4K on Xbox One, and all that stuff would be just nuts.
Now, Kevin, did you pick up the 3DS version, the 3D Classics version?
Yeah,
which is again,
I have it on.
Also
I even have the Japanese Fukuoka collection.
What is that?
It's because they when they had the 3D Classics come out in the States, they released one set physically, but Volume 1 only came out in Japan. They did Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3 in Japan. Okay. They basically ported, or they localized Volume 2, but not 1 and 3. And there's even like if you want to get like obviously you need either a modded or a Japanese 3DS, but they have every single one of those Sega Ages games on cart in.
Oh, that's great.
Nice. So at least those will be preserved in one form or another.
That is outstanding. I also picked up, well, no, I didn't pick this up. I was given this. I was given a gift this week from Nick Zucklick.
Zulich?
I'm Zulich. I'm mangling the poor guy's
You're
name.
mangling his name.
And
Nick from Xbox.
Zulich.
Yeah.
Is that right? Am I saying it correctly?
I think so.
I feel like an idiot.
You are an idiot.
Nick over at Xbox was watching our show, or listening to our show last week. We were discussing the Xbox Game Pass. And you and CJ and Greg,
I am a big proponent of.
We're singing its praises.
Yes,
Tomb Raider just came out too.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Just downloaded it.
I want to play that.
It did, and I can say that with authority because I now have Xbox Game Pass.
There you go.
Because what happened was I don't know. Maybe
you were bad mouthing it.
Maybe I came. Maybe say I did not mean to be bad mouthing it. But I guess it came across that way because Nick was he popped on Twitter and he was thanking you and Greg for being such a proponent of it, and then he ever the gentleman he called me out and just said, Phil, get in touch with me. I'm gonna hook you up with a few months of Game Pass so you can see what you're missing.
Give you a taste. Just get you.
So
first it's free.
Yeah. So he hooked me up. He hooked me up with a few months of Game Pass.
Green bliss.
Exactly.
Little Captain Planet there.
So I realized now what this has taught me.
Oh God! Now you're gonna badmouth it even.
Is that all I have to do is complain about stuff, and I will get things, and game companies will give me stuff for free. So let me tell you what else I hate.
Look out on Phil's Twitter account this week to find out at Coca-Cola.
I really hate $1 million.
Speaking of Ferraris,
at U.S. Treasury.
Boy, I hear those cars suck. Yeah. I hear those aren't any good. But no, he was
Game Pass.
He was super, he was super generous, super nice.
Nick's great. He's been listening to the show for a long time. So.
Yeah, and again, maybe I was getting a little too pissy about it just to be a jerk. But
that's not like you at all.
No, that's not. No, that's very out of character for me. But But no, so he hooked me up with some Game Pass. So I downloaded a few games.
Yeah.
And
What'd you try? What'd you try?
well, I mean, it's old games. So yeah, like they had like the
Well, it's not all.
I
It's
I
not.
I
all
I
games.
own Logan Sea of Thieves. Thank you very much.
Never
You
true.
paid
You
for
on
that
it.
game?
Patreon supporter paid
Yes.
for that
That's
game.
where the Patreon money's going, huh?
The Patreon went to Phil playing Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves propaganda.
CJ forced Sea of Thieves on all of us when that game came out. So
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I did.
but yeah, so I downloaded. I went through and just kind of downloaded a few games. Like I got they had like the Mega Man collections.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, I'll get the Mega Man collections. They had the Ollie Ollie games.
Yep.
Those skateboard games, which are top-notch
Fantastic.
stuff. Yeah. I downloaded like DMC, the recent Devil May Cry game, which I have heard was good but have not played. So I was like, okay, I'll give that a try. Of course, Crackdown 3 is coming to it this Friday, but
Well, you can preload. Yeah.
yeah, I will, which I did, even though
You can preload on Game Pass now.
I have the physical version pre-ordered because it's Crackdown, so I'm going to want the physical version. But I did preload 3, so I can just start playing it.
But now you can play Forza Horizon also. You can try that out. Forza Horizon 4. It's a really good game, even though Stuart doesn't like it. You can try it.
I don't know if
Greg
you.
didn't like Forza Horizon 4.
I don't know if you've heard, CJ. I have Outrun 2006,
and that's all the racing game you need.
I don't see why I need other racing games, even for free, even through a subscription service.
Sure.
You know what I downloaded because I was flipping through with Finn. Was checking the games out with me as well, and he noticed Zoo Tycoon.
Oh yeah, Charlotte loves that. That's
I was gonna ask if you had tried that because he saw it and was very, because he loves animals.
Yeah,
so
Charlotte is way into
very
that
excited. Okay, cool.
Xbox One launch title.
Was it really?
Xbox One launch title.
Yeah, so we're gonna be playing some of that as well. So
cool.
Yeah, so it's
See,
Again,
Game Pass is pretty good.
I mean, Game Pass, if you're willing to, at least keep your eye open. Like I think I got 2 6-month passes for $30 a piece. So for the price of one game, I have a year of Game Pass. And again, the only thing that you really need to, the only hurdle that you might run into is bandwidth caps. Because if you get something like Gears 4 is like over 100 gigs itself. So some of these games are a little bit chunky, but what I would like to see, and they actually did with Crackdown 3, I would love to see the future trend of games that have multiplayer components offering 2 different downloads. Single player campaign, multiplayer. Like allow me to separate those two, because there are a lot of people that are probably going to get Game Pass that may not want to play that multiplayer component.
That is true.
Yep.
So the bandwidth cap shouldn't really matter for me. I'm on my neighbor's Wi-Fi.
Cool.
So I don't know what
Comcast. No,
I don't know. Well, they just they don't put a password on it apparently. So what are you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Use the 3 most common passwords: sex, God, and love, or whatever it was from hackers. Go ask Penn Gillette. Penn knows.
I approve that reference.
Oh man,
I gotta say, I am really jealous that you have the Game Pass, because I've been looking at that and I don't have an Xbox. I haven't had an Xbox since 2011.
Jeez.
But that was, and that was just literally for Gears of War and Mass Effect. That was the only 2 things.
I mean, the PC version of Game Pass is getting more and more robust. They are putting some more cash.
Well, and supposedly they're going to officially do Game Pass on PC at some point. It's not official now, right? But you can download games.
Yeah, if there are games anywhere, you can Crackdown 3 is one of those games. Forza 4, Gears 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's one of those things that I've envied with the Game Pass, is just like seeing those games coming to it from the older generations that I wanted to play, but I never got a chance to. And I'm like, that's what I want, like the Nintendo online system to be like. I want Xbox Game Pass to just have that kind of pulling games from the past and stuff. And it was never even like a thing where they were talking about PlayStation's thing there plus, like going and getting backwards compatibility for other games, or am I?
I think people are assuming there was a new patent recently.
That's what it was.
That was for the next PlayStation machine, like being able to emulate the prior PlayStation platforms perfectly.
Yeah.
So there's nothing like official yet, but I could definitely see PlayStation trying to do what Microsoft is currently doing with their stuff.
It's just, and it's a good, like it is. I think Netflix is a good analogy for this stuff because, like, sometimes you'll just be scrolling and be like, yeah, you know what, I do want to play Shadow Complex right now. Like, I remember, like, you know, or like I want to play Mortal Kombat X. Like, Mortal Kombat X is on there, and I didn't buy.
Well, and the other thing, Microsoft put out a Game Pass app for mobile, and you can,
that's cool.
Be at work. And say, hey, you know, tonight I want to download Devil May Cry, and go on there and set it to download, and it'll be ready when you get home. So that's another cool thing.
Nice.
Anyway,
but yeah, so you know, super thanks to Nick for hooking a dude up. So
absolutely,
I will get a lot of use out of it, I'm sure. So
yes, indeed,
it's pretty cool. The final thing. I actually have not had a chance to play this yet because I just bought it today.
What?
But, I picked up this for you watching on the YouTubes. I picked up a model of an R-Wing from Star Fox. And it came with a game, it turns out.
No, do a barrel roll.
So yeah.
Amiibo.
I just see.
Pretty fancy amiibo, yeah.
Wow.
There it goes. So I just Starlink is being heavily discounted.
Yes.
And Best Buy had all 3 versions on sale over the weekend for $20. And if you still have Gamers Club unlocked, you got your discount on that as well, which brought it down to about $16.
Nice.
So I popped onto the internet website for Best Buy, which is at www
we gotta do this
// www.bestbuy, one word, bestbuy.com.
Phil, please, if could you let the AOL listeners know it's also AOL keyword Best Buy.
Thank you.
Just in case.
Oh god.
You know what? I have Prodigy, so I was not familiar with the AOL keywords, but so thank you.
Well, CompuServe, do we have a CompuServe group chat for that either?
It's a bunch of numbers though.
I think it's all ICQ.
CompuServe's been dead for years, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, what? Oh.
Yeah, jeez.
Okay.
All right.
But I was a Prodigy guy back in the day.
Me too. Got my Joe of the Jungle from that. That's where I got Joe of the Jungle. I have vivid memories of Joe of the Jungle and Duke Nukem.
That's the most anyone said Jill of the Jungle in probably 20 years.
Yeah, but people remember that. Come on.
I remember Jill.
I don't.
Share, dude. You could buy games for like $5 or $6 off of Prodigy and download it right to your 386.
But so I picked up. They luckily had the game in stock at my local Best Buy, so I got an in-store pickup, and I braved
the cold,
the sub-freezing temperatures of Seattle to head out into the snowpocalypse. Barely made it back with my life. I fended off a pack of wolves when I tried to enter the store.
Yeah.
Snow hobos
they were there for the great deals
are out.
Though.
Well, why wouldn't you be? I mean, my goodness.
Don't they just have drones in Seattle? Don't you guys just have everything dropped off by the
drone? Yeah, where's your Amazon drone?
Well, yeah, that's all Amazon. Those are the Amazon drones patrolling the sky. Yeah. Trying to intercept Bezos's dick pics. So
I'm not doing a very good job of that, apparently.
Well, you know, it's a test program.
I mean, the nice thing is that you're getting those with every package you get from shipping.
Like that
every
special
package
tape they put on the outside.
It's the tape, the tape that they put is just that.
Instead of promoting the next Disney movie, it is instead.
Yeah.
With every
One
package,
line
here's
piece
another
of tape.
package.
The
Yeah.
Amazon packing tape just has little inch markers on it and just says, "How do you measure up?"
Are
So-
you Bezos? And there's a big red line.
Yeah. So I got my Starlink.
Okay.
I picked it up. It was cute when I got there. There were no more copies on the shelves. But when I went to the in-store pickup line, you can see they have the big plastic bins filled with everyone's in-store pickups, and there were several copies of Starlink in multiple bins. So
That's amazing.
seems like everyone was taking advantage of that promotion. But yeah, so I got Starlink. I have not played it yet. I did.
You played with the toys.
I did play with the toys. I got my
How's the
little R-wing.
quality?
They're actually it's pretty good. I mean, they are. It's got this big hollow part here in the bottom underneath the cockpit, which I don't know if you're supposed to plug something in there, if that's just saving plastic or reducing weight. See, now I feel like I'm talking, doing my points of articulation.
Yes.
Podcast talk. But it's actually pretty solid build quality here. Nice plastic. You got these little weapons that detach onto the wing.
Yep.
Which, yeah, so you can, and it's nice and cylindrical, so this can just slide right down the throat.
It's stuck
the
right in your
nose.
esophagus.
Yeah,
Sure.
and it's got this these kind of flared out ends here that are a little spiky, so that'll just help it slide down and then just kind of lodge into place, and then lock it in there. So when you try the Heimlich, it won't really push back up.
Yeah.
It'll be stuck in there. But
Don't
but
eat
no,
your toys, kids.
Yeah. Don't do that.
just eat the little ones that'll go down your throat. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No.
That's a joke. And it's
I've been-
satire.
So I've been holding off on the Starlink because I
Yeah.
had a feeling like, with the rest of the industry saying like, okay, we're done with toys to life, that this
Right.
would swiftly fall in price. And I was hovering over the button at 4 a.m. this morning after my cats woke me up to a wonderful rendition of Feed Me. And I was hoping
From Little Shop of Horrors?
close.
Okay.
Not the deep sultry
Right.
song that you're thinking of. It's more of the
Levi
yowling.
Stubbs.
Yeah.
Levi Stubbs was the voice of Audrey 2. Thank you very much.
I will defer
There
to
you
your
go.
judgment on that one.
It's true.
But
That's not a judgment. That's just you can
It's
look that up.
knowledge.
That's on IMDb. That's a fact. But go ahead.
Fair enough. So I've been looking at this and I'm kind of wondering because I don't think we're going to get a Starlink 2
Probably
anytime
not.
Probably not.
soon or any kind of thing like that. So would you say $20 is something that not playing the game, obviously you have no, but as a
Yes.
toy, is it worth having on your shelf?
I really just, like I said, I bought this because I wanted the R-Wing. And it's cute too because the stand that you can see it's mounted on is also clearly meant to hold your Joy-Cons.
Oh, okay.
So I guess you sit there and hold the ship while you play. Yeah, for the $15-20, I am glad I have this nice little R-Wing model. The game, you know what?
The game's pretty good. I played a little of it.
Yeah, game was well reviewed.
Yeah, well, when I posted a picture on Twitter of me getting the game for cheap, and I was bombarded with a ton of messages of people saying that, hey, the game is actually really good.
Yes.
Hope you have fun with it. It's a ton of fun. And actually, Mike Phillips just twittered me and said,
he tweeted you.
Yes, he says that you stole it. The bargain price. I metaphorically stole it. I did not actually shoplift.
Yes.
This game. I shoplift other things. I don't shoplift video games. That game is great, says Mike. I co-op with my kid and we have a grand time.
Yes.
So
it's good.
But yeah, so like I said, and he's not the only one who is excited that I'm going to play that game. So yeah, and what's nice about it, with the whole Toys to Life brouhaha, is that I know that this game allows you to purchase all the add-on content, like the extra ships and weapons and stuff, just through the eShop or the PlayStation Store or the Xbox Store. You don't actually have to buy the physical toys, which is fine because I don't, I just want the little R-Wing. I don't need a bunch of random other toys. I have a ton of other random toys clogging my shelves right now. I don't need more. So yeah, if I do end up really enjoying the game, it's nice to know that I will still be able to purchase the add-on content without having to go buy the actual toys, which are getting harder to find because
especially with discounts like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah, so that's my week in gaming.
All right. Well, I've been playing a very exciting game on the PlayStation 4. It's a PSVR game, and I don't have PSVR, but I know people who do.
I have a PSVR.
Namely, well, yeah, you do, and maybe you should have bought this. Star Trek Bridge Crew.
I own Star Trek Bridge Crew.
You do? Holy cow! Okay.
Well,
not another player.
You know what happened?
What's that?
My boss Steve at work.
Yes.
He had an outstanding offer. And I guess outstanding in both senses of the word. It was a consistent, recurring offer, but also an exceptional offer, because he has the VR and he has Bridge Crew, but he doesn't have enough people to play with. He doesn't have enough friends who also own VR and Bridge Crew, and he had this offer. He was like, anyone on my team who purchases the PlayStation VR unit, I will buy them a copy of Bridge Crew.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And he was true to his word.
Well, last week it was on sale on the PSN store for $10.
Oh, nice.
So, Greg's friend Mike, who's also now my friend Mike,
phasers to savings,
has a PSVR, and Greg's friend Jim also has a PSVR, and Greg has a PSVR, but he forgot to buy Star Trek Bridge Crew while it was on sale for $10. So we got Evil Monkey to play with us because he had the PC version, and the game is crossplay. By the way, you can play people who have it on the Vive, or I think it's on Oculus also.
Yeah,
and it also has a non-VR mode.
Yes,
that they added later. So the PlayStation Store description does not hint at the fact that there's a non-VR mode to this. Yeah, it's kind of weird in that way. But I played it non-VR online co-op with Mike, Jim, and Brad, Evil Monkey, and we had a lot of fun. We played 3 or 4 missions, and it was pretty fun. Even though I was not in VR, I could still like turn around and look at other members of the crew, and we each took turns manning each of the 4 stations in the ship and being captain, and it was a lot of fun. And while I wouldn't pay $60 for it, I would pay $10 for
well, that's good because that's what you paid for it.
That is what I paid for it. That's correct. But I had a lot of fun, and since you mentioned that you have it, maybe you can get you into some of the multiplayer.
Perhaps I should.
Perhaps, or your boss.
Perhaps I'm sure he would enjoy that.
Well, okay.
What is your CJ? What is your experience with the world of Star Trek?
Casual.
Okay. How much Star Trek have you seen?
So I've seen a handful or a bunch of the original series. I've seen a couple seasons of Next Generation years ago, like not recent enough to know anything really.
Okay,
and then none of any of the seasons after that.
Well, what about the movies? You seen First Contact?
I've seen First Contact. I love First Contact. That's a great movie. So I've seen most of the movies.
Okay, so you've seen Wrath of Khan?
Yes,
presumably.
Yes, I have. Of course.
Have you seen 2, 3, and 4? Because those kind of form.
I've seen 2, 3, and 4. Yes,
there's a consistent story between those 3 films.
Yes, I've seen them.
So okay. And I'll just say this:
quizzing me in my Star Trek.
Deep Space Nine is the best Star Trek. That's
my hope. I don't. Space
Deep.
Nine.
You've
I've
got
watched
some
all
pushback from
Voyager
Logan.
multiple times. And I
Deep
have not
Space.
watched Deep Space Nine.
Deep Space Nine was I have not watched. I did not watch Deep Space Nine. I watched it within the past year, and it is the best Star Trek. I don't care what any whining dissenters in my ear might be saying.
It's good. It's better than Next Generation, but I don't know if I would
Really?
I would go.
What's
as far as
better?
That.
What's better?
Voyager's better for
I
many
think
reasons.
Voyager has some good time travel bullshit.
Yeah.
And they have at least one time travel episode per season, which I appreciate. And
Yeah.
I think Janeway is awesome.
There's a lot more dynamic in between the characters. Like my memory of DS9 is Odo yelling at the Ferengis all the time.
Too much Quark, yeah.
And then just a little bit of too much like sexual tension between Commander and Dax, and I don't know. It was really good.
Between Cisco and Dax?
Yeah.
Sexual tension?
I always thought. Bear in mind, like this
unspoken sexual tension.
Yeah,
it was in the fan fiction. You really have to.
They spent a long time in fighting together for years and years, and yeah, they had families, but realistically, come on,
that's some weird fan fiction route you're going down there, my friend. My goodness.
Well,
I will say that DS9 is an amazing series.
It really is.
And Discovery, everyone should subscribe to CBS Now or whatever it's called, because
Young Sheldon.
Because of Young Sheldon, but
Young
Star
Sheldon.
Trek Discovery is outstanding.
It's CBS All Access, and you should subscribe to it to get the new Twilight Zone that is coming out here.
Yeah, that too.
Oh yeah.
That trailer looked so good. I'm so happy with that.
New season of Discovery is really good.
Is Discovery really that good?
The second half of the first season and what they've done in season 2 so far, it is a lot of people are saying this isn't Star Trek. It's but I think it's awesome. It looks great. They're doing really cool sci-fi, stuff that isn't done on other shows. Again, I haven't really had a show like this since Stargate SG-1 or the Atlantis and.
Well, anyway, I hate to interrupt the Star Trek Love Fest, but Star Trek Bridge Crew is a very good video game that I had a lot of fun with, role playing, being a Star Trek person.
Isn't it getting the Next Generation stuff soon?
It is. There's DLC for Next Generation. So the problem with that is that it was not on sale during the PlayStation sale. So I didn't pick that up. But for $10, or if they discount the Next Generation stuff, I would totally be into that.
Yeah.
So I don't have the VR. I don't
crush your skin.
I don't have the PSVR set up, so I can't experience the full immersion of it. But anyway,
yeah.
And then I played Apex Legends, but I also played a little bit of Realm Royale. This is a free-to-play battle royale game from High Res Studios that recently came out on PlayStation and Xbox. So, and you can cross-play with people on Xbox. So, and last summer, I think I talked about this game on the show when it launched, because I play a bunch of battle royale games for some research that I was doing, competitive analysis, you might say. But I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the battle royale in Realm, and so I played some of that this week too, because we have a new batch of players coming in from the console versions, and on our Discord people were talking about it, so checked it out and had a lot of fun. Got my first Crown Royale with Mike and Evil Monkey, and we had a random player in our squad, and that was a lot of fun. And it's enjoyable, and it's free to play. It's one of those games that has a battle pass thing. It's a battle royale game set in like a fantasy setting, so you have all sorts of fun mounts and weapons, and it's enjoyable.
This is the one that has the forging, right?
This is the one that has forging, as a mechanic. So if you run into weapons you don't want, you can pick up the shards for them and then forge upgrades at various places on the map at a forge. So different battle royale style, but quite enjoyable. So I've been playing a bit of that. Yeah.
Well, I would just like to take a few minutes to talk about what a great character Garrick is on Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
God. Phil,
yeah,
I think that means it's time for tweets.
Tweet, a tweet, tweet, a tweet, tweet.
I'm sorry, we're kind of running long, so oh my God. All right, you can stop at that. We're running a little long, like I was saying, so we're only going to do like one or two of these.
Like Jeff Bezos.
God.
So I've heard. So I've heard.
So you've heard, yeah. So hacker alias Real J Williams says, do you recommend upgrading my PS4 Slim to a PS4 Pro to go with my new 4K TV purchased back in November? Is it worth the upgrade? Money isn't the issue. I'm hesitant only because we may see PlayStation 5 this year. Then again, we may not see PlayStation 5 for several years. Thoughts?
Should I hit on this since I replied to him on Twitter, and I'll just read my tweet because I think it's pertinent.
Go ahead.
I said the PS, and again, I think this is important because the PS5 will be out next year. It is a 2020 console. We will get
There be
Xbox.
locks. There be lock.
No, this is like industry lock. This is like if anyone is saying otherwise, they have no idea what they're talking about.
Right.
But we will get PS5 and Xbox, whatever, in 2020 for that holiday season. So you got to keep in mind this might be, primarily used for the next 18 months or whatever. But I will say it's not just about having a 4K TV. For me, it is I want my games to run as well as they possibly can towards the end of this generation. You don't have to necessarily look at a digital foundry video, although they are useful to see how poorly that first iteration of consoles with the Xbox One and the PS4 are handling some of these newer games.
Yeah.
Just in terms of frame rate, not just terms of visual fidelity. So if frame rate is important, if performance is important, I think it is worth that, $250 upgrade because there are many places like GameStop and that will do trade-ins that allow you to put that money towards plus some to getting that PS4 Pro or an Xbox One X. And you're still going to have all those games and there's still a lot of time left and you might not want to jump on that new console day one based on what they will have for launch lineup. So I think it's a no-brainer, even if you don't have a 4K TV.
I don't know if you don't have a 4K TV. I think, if you're the kind of person that bought a 4K TV and you want to see how things run on it, getting that upgrade is worth it for, even games that you already own. Like if you have the Shadow of the Colossus remake, it looks really damn good in 60 frames a second. Like you don't realize what kind of difference that makes until you try that. And there are several other games that open up new modes and whatnot, new display modes that are definitely worth checking out. I say, yeah, go Kevin's route. Trade in your system and get one of the upgraded systems.
And I also will push back on that a little bit. I think it was like maybe 2 years ago or a year and a half ago when I was on this show and we were talking about this, and I got a lot of pushback saying 4K TVs are stupid and 4K doesn't mean anything. But
yeah,
I mean,
again, why that was, right? It's because 4K televisions at that time were too expensive.
Sure.
And now we have cheaper TCL sets that everybody got.
That's what I have too. But again, I will say I think it's more of a performance. It's not just a resolution thing. It is literally a frames per second thing where some games are running sub 30 now on these consoles because they just can't handle it. I mean, these consoles have literally been out since 2013. They're 6 years old, guys.
Yeah.
I think I'll jump in and say if you have the PS4 Slim, then that money's been invested for some amount of time. I would say if you want to have the highest end tier for the system so that you can still play these PS4 games anytime you want, might as well get the PS4 Pro because it's probably going to be the most powerful version till we get the next generation. Pick it up now. You'll enjoy it now and you'll have it forever.
There you go. Let's do this one because it's Star Trek related. Hacker alias GP9328 says in early Star Trek The Next Generation episodes, the holodeck just created environments that were hangouts with no interactive elements. What environment could a VR game just recreate for you as a hangout? I would like a place like Yosemite National Park.
That would be cool. Like, yeah, just like beautiful nature vistas.
Sure, absolutely.
You know what I'm going to say?
What?
A 1980s arcade.
You want to
That
hang
already
out in a
exists.
1980s arcade?
An old, dank,
You'd have to get-
sleazy 80s arcade.
You'd have to
Yes.
get like a smell-o-vision thing going on too.
Hey, you know, why not?
Get
Like
the full
burnt popcorn and
socks,
Yeah.
dirty socks.
Yep. Give me a haptic suit with some discreet openings, and I am set.
Phil, I got a movie for you. It's
What?
called Ready Player One. You will love it. Sounds like it's right up your alley.
The haptic suit with discreet openings is straight out of Ready Player One.
Oh,
Hey, by the
okay,
way, that book is terrible because the
Man,
guy
I've got it.
spends
Oh.
way too much time describing how you're going to take a dump or jack off in your VR suit. So
Well, he has more money than all of us, so
That's
he
true.
He did something
All right.
right.
Kevin Logan, what about VR environments?
I think I would not do nature. I think go outside, folks. I would get out of the VR headset and I would go outside to experience these things firsthand, even if it's like going out into the woods near your house or something like that. Just go smell some dead leaves and get some fresh air and be good to go.
That sounds horrible.
there's bugs outside.
There's the
This is so
sun.
gross.
Throw some sunblock on your nose and you know you'll survive. So I think the thing that I would love is something that you can't experience in current day, which would be something like, you know, the Wild West or going into like a Neo Tokyo, something that allows me to experience something that I couldn't experience in real life. Like I would really love, I think a really good game, VR game would actually be, and it would fit in perfectly because they're making a new one, a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Because you could like walk into a phone booth, visit a bunch of time periods, interact with, and you could like be educational. You could meet like Socrates and you could meet like Abraham Lincoln. But I think the thing is that we need to at least try that because of the travesties that LJN brought us with the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure game on the NES that just was subpar. I bought that game used from a video rental store when it was going out of business, and the $2 were not spent wisely.
All right, Logan.
I would probably say like 1920s Paris, France. I'd probably want to go to that time period, check it out, see what the scene was like. I would love to kind of experience like, you know, early 1920s or so. And around that time, just like the music was different and it was changing. And I just think France would be a great place to actually like walk around and check out the views and the monuments and the people and the culture. Something in the past that I can't experience now in a place that I've never been. Something like that.
You just want to go seduce Josephine Baker, don't you?
Damn it!
I hear you.
You got
Figured
me.
it out.
I feel you. I got you.
Figured it out.
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe.
There.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't know. I think like a Blade Runner style thing would be cool. Like you were saying, Neo Tokyo would be awesome to experience.
Like a director's cut or like an original or the theatrical release, or are we talking like 2099? Like which Blade Runner? I need to find out.
Either
the PC
one.
game. The PC
Either
game
one.
specifically.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
specifically that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that would be awesome. Or of course, I mean the pirate life.
Oh jeez, here we go.
Well, you can do that every night and see it Thieves on Xbox One and PC.
Exactly. All right.
I've been good this episode, by the way. This has been very good to restrain myself this time.
Well, you have a whole podcast where you talk about Sea of Thieves, so
It's
people can get their dose that way.
Their fixes.
Exactly. All right. Hey, what do I say here?
And that's our show for this week.
Yeah, that's what I say. Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on the Twitters. That's where you can tell us about if you like the button configuration for the NES games on Nintendo Switch Online. Do you agree or disagree that it is fine?
You can sign my change.org petition at change.org/utilize the Y button.
Oh my gosh. All right. Or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com, and there you'll find our contact information. You'll find Generation 16 episodes from Mr. Greg Stewart. I'm sure that he is hard at work on one right this second. You'll probably. You'll also find show notes and links to all the things that we talked about during each episode, including a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up the Apple Podcast application and find us there. Yeah, you could also head over to the iPhone App Store to and invest $1.99.
Oh, hold on, wait.
Oh, geez, wait. And invest.
Is somebody gonna say it, or do I have to use the?
Well, you bought that fancy soundboard.
Okay, I'm ready.
And invest $1.99.
Cheap.
To pick up the Player One Podcast iPhone application. Gives you one-touch communication with us via the emails, the Twitters, what have you. And you have all of our episodes ready to stream right to your listening device. And hey, Android cell phone, telephone users, the Player One Podcast iPhone application is for your devices over that same $1.99.
Also cheap.
Oh, man, I love it. I love it. It's over there at the Amazon Android Marketplace. You can like us on Facebook. We're on Stitcher Radio. We're on Spotify. You can watch archives of our show and watch us live most weeks on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast. And if you like what you've heard, and how could you can head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. I would say it keeps me loaded up with Game Pass, but people just give me that for free, so it don't even matter. No,
wow.
I'm joking. Nick was very generous.
Really stepping on Nick's kindness.
Nick was extremely generous, and I was very grateful to him.
Yes.
In our private chats,
in the private direct message.
When I'm not showboating for the ratings here, CJ.
That's right.
You know, I was very, very grateful. So
I'm sure.
I'm a nice.
You're a gracious person.
I'm a nice guy. I'm a good friend.
I don't know about that.
Well, it's actually not true. It's not true at all. And if you have a couple bucks left after giving us all your money, why don't you go over to generation-16.com where you will find the Patreon link to support Greg Stewart's fantastic web series about North America's favorite Sega Banana, Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
Say thanks, Phil. That's great. Hey, no problem, Greg. Good to have you. And hey, remember, Patreon supporters, the $5 and higher tier gain access to special after shows. Where things get lewd.
And Kevin and Logan, are you gonna join us for that? I mean, you don't have to, but
I have no gaming knowledge. I did horrible last time.
I mean, everybody does. We do horrible.
I don't. I do great.
I mean, Phil,
I do just fine.
Straight from the pages of Game Pro magazine in 95 to 97, I'll be okay.
Okay.
Oh man. But yeah, so there's that. CJ.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Phil,
for hosting this week.
Thank you.
And of course, extra special thanks to our extra special guests this week. Of course, we have Logan Keller from the Keel Hauled podcast.
That's right.
Yar.
Get your High Seas Havoc.
It's the internet's #1 Sea of Thieves podcast, I'll have you know.
Is that true?
It's true.
Yeah.
I got my first hater this week. I was very impressed.
Wait, are you talking about me, or is this someone else?
No,
Oh.
it was an anonymous hater on iTunes reviews, and it was a 3-star
really?
rating. I was like, oh my god, I'm famous. This is
Wait,
it. I've hit the big time.
hater. Wait, out of 5 stars, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So your haters are giving you like average scores.
That's the worst score, though. You want a 5 or a 1. You don't want a 3.
There you go.
I mean, go read the Player One iTunes reviews if you want to see haters.
All right. Well, I have some living up to do for sure.
Okay. Well, try and
Little steps.
you're getting there though. You're getting there.
Yeah. Just one banana at a time.
And of course, from back in my play, we have Kevin Larrabee. And what you're doing?
I got a new podcast.
What's your new podcast? Is it a fitness thing?
No, it's all about Bo. So I am going through the filmography of Bo Bridges, and we are going and dissecting.
Oh wow!
All of Bo Bridges. I mean, he did some television as well.
Yeah,
sure.
But on the next episode, we're going to be covering, the movie Sidekicks, the Jonathan Brandis, Chuck Norris joint.
Yeah.
Where it's really, kind of akin to Karate Kid, but it was good. Like, I mean, they have Danica McKellar's in it, Joe Piscopo, and of course Bo Bridges. And
Kevin,
yeah,
is this a bit you're doing?
It doesn't sound like a bit.
Or is this a real
It doesn't sound like
thing?
a bit.
Is this a real thing?
Bo Bridges has been in a
It's
lot
called
of
Bo
movies.
in My Play. So
back in my bow. No, and I think if we're gonna be real for a second, I think Bo Bridges is the better Bridges. I think he is
over Jeff
for sure.
Yeah.
I think he is a much more serious actor. I think Jeff Bridges is just kind of like he's just funning around. I think Bo Bridges is a real theatrical actor.
I'm open to be convinced by hearing this podcast. Just based off of that.
I mean, I think you can make the argument that he kind of phoned in Tron Legacy, and that's why we're not getting a sequel.
Whoa!
Wow!
Whoa! I know that Bruce Boxleitner does not want to do another Tron movie for sure.
Is that true?
Yes,
that sucks.
He has stated that he doesn't want to be Tron
really?
again, which is a bummer.
Because he did the cartoon.
Yeah, I know, and the cartoon was amazing.
Tron Uprising was top notch.
Yeah, but he said he didn't want to do Tron anymore. So
that's a shame.
That's kind of
it's not like he doesn't need the money. Come on, like what else is he?
Wow.
wow.
He's doing a show up in Canada right now.
Yeah, on the Hallmark Channel. Anyways,
Wow.
Bo Bridges did a lot of great stuff. He did a couple seasons of Stargate SG-1 as well. So we're going to be covering that at some point. But
I guess we're not going to be getting a they still call me Bruce Boxleitner follow-up podcast for me, Kevin.
I don't think we're going to, but no, for real. We'll probably get back to back in my play. I think I'm going to try to get I don't know. I want to do Base Wars. That's a game that's been on my mind.
The futuristic baseball game, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you slide in a first and the ball's already there, you get to fight the first baseman, and whoever survives gets the call. So that's really good. And no, I'm not doing a podcast all about Bo or anything like that. But
that's a shame.
It is. The more that I talk about it, I'm actually like,
now's the time.
Good.
Untapped potential.
I mean,
You
God,
had me.
He did multiple seasons of My Name Is Earl. He's been a guest actor in a lot of stuff.
Have like IMDb open?
What's up with this?
No, he's been like he was most recently in Homeland. Like he was in a bunch of episodes of Homeland. If you watch that, But yeah, he works a lot. So you can
prolific.
A lot of work to get prolific actor. But of course, Back of My Play, which is a great show. You can go to backofmyplay.com. You've heard a lot of the Player One folks on there, and the great thing about it is it stands the test of time. You can go back to episodes that are years old, and those games still exist. It is
are still great.
They're still great. So you can go listen to all that stuff at backmyplay.com. You can subscribe wherever. And again, I own a gym, so most of my time goes into the gym right now. And Back of My Play is kind of on still a little bit of a back burner. But when the time comes, I will be getting more episodes together. And there's still an MGS4 episode that Ryan Payton and I are still trying to iron out schedules for all that stuff. So that might be the next one. But also, Base Wars.
Alrighty.
I can testify. One of my great times was being able to dig through that back in my play library and start handpicking all my favorite games and starting to listen to those on a huge list.
It's just fun to talk about old games. Like everyone has really unique but somewhat similar, oddly similar memories when it comes to that stuff. So it's always fun to share.
Nice.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, again,
Alrighty.
thanks to both of you, Logan and Kevin, for joining us. I know it was especially kind of short notice too.
Indeed.
So
Yeah.
No WWE pay-per-views tonight. So schedule's wide open.
excellent.
All right. next
Okay.
week.
See you guys next week.
See
All
ya.
right. Now don't stop recording if we're doing the after show.
I didn't.
Okay.
Broseph.